Sup now? We out here. D says I wear my sunglasses at night, but I'm telling you, I got my sunglasses on because y'all out here in these streets, in these YouTube streets, acting a fool. Oh. Y'all acting up in these streets all day. Y'all been acting up. What about the past 3 days? Y'all been acting up. If you don't know who we are, we're Women in Linux. And if you don't know what today is, it is Friday. And what are we doing today? Acting a fool. Acting a plum fool. We are. Foolish Finance Fridays is the show. Tam, I am. I am your host for Foolish Finance Fridays. Right? But let me tell you something. You all out there in these streets are acting up. I've been seeing it. I've been talking about it. I'm like, y'all going mad. Y'all on these mad rants. Y'all getting YouTube channels snatched down. Y'all snatching edges. You don't even want the wigs. Y'all snatching edges. You snatching edges. You calling out people mama and daddy. You listing people real phone numbers and names. You going on mad rants. You talking about people love life. You talking about their wife and their kid. CPS. Y'all out here acting up. I done seen at least. I don't know. I couldn't even keep up. I got it. I was already tired because I was up late last night and then I got up early this morning. Had 6 meetings back to back. I'm like, I'm exhausted and I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. I need a nap. But I wanted to have some energy for Foolish Finance Fridays. I did want to have energy for that. Yeah, the Cash App founder sliced up like he was coming out of jail, like he had a hit on him. Hey, what y'all doing out here? But like they said, that it's not the first cryptocurrency, digital currency founder that has been taken out. Right? Not the first. The least was going on. Coda Evelyn was going on. Free. Natasha. Dunn. What's going on? Should we call Dunn Cheeto? Or should we call him Dunn from what was it? What was the show? Miami was it Miami Vice? Should we call him Dunn from Miami Vice? Every time I look at Dunn, I be like, I be thinking about Dunn from Miami Vice. Put him on a white suit and he could just switch roles. That's what I be thinking. Every time I see Dunn, I think Miami Vice. I don't know. That's what I be thinking. I'm not talking about the black guy on there. I'm talking about the white guy. I think his name was Dunn on there. I just envision him in a linen suit, walking around telling me, I'm your personal trainer this morning. I have arrived. Golden Element, it is not Saturday until I go to sleep. I don't care if I was on the East Coast. I don't care if until I go to sleep and wake up, it's still that Friday. It's still Friday. When I go to sleep and wake up, it's Saturday. What's going on, Free? I talked to your boy this morning. Talk to talk to the godfather of government contracting. The godfather. Tell him I said it. I tell him. I text him and tell him I said it. I don't know why your eyes is heavy. Wake up, down to earth. I seen you out here in these streets. I saw you out in these streets earlier. You not sleep. I saw you in the streets earlier. You not sleepy. I saw you on Erica show. You not sleepy. I don't want to hear that. What's going on, Casey? Oh, come over here now. All of a sudden you tired. Oh, I can't keep my eyes open. BS. I don't want to hear it. It's Foolish Finance Fridays. And if you wonder if I had a drink, the answer is drum roll, please. No, I have not had anything to drink. I didn't even pop open my bottle. I didn't even take no shot. The only thing I got right here is my water. And we about to get it. We about to get it cracking tonight. What's going on, Heather? I ain't even had nothing to drink. Mm-mm-mm. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And most definitely hit the notification button. Right? All right. So what's going on out here in these streets? Right? I came to give you a break from the foolishness that's going on in the streets. I put my red glasses on because it's blood being spilled out here in these streets. It's blood being spilled out here in these streets. I came to give y'all a break. That's what I do. Fridays, I'm giving y'all a break. So y'all can at least go to bed with something on your mind. Something on your mind. That's right, free. Wake up. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. Right? No, it ain't even blood on the leaves. It ain't. It's worse than that. You remember in The Shining, and they got the elevator scene, and the elevator open up, and all. That's what's out here in the streets. That is what's out in these streets. Casual economists, wake up. Don't go to sleep now, bruh. Don't go to sleep now, bruh. What's going on, Jasmine? Right? Don't go to sleep now. Thank you, free. Don't go to sleep now. We got so much to talk about. All right. So y'all know how this goes. Let me back it up. This is Foolish Finance Fridays, and I'm your host, Petty T. And I'm your host, Petty T. All right. So let's get started. Don't hold on, holding on. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, let me say this. Let me say this. Because I saw Erica's show, I saw the headlines, and somebody hit me up. Yeah, I posted it. I posted it with the one with the one Natasha. I posted it with the headlines. I posted it in the Slack where somebody had a job posting with white candidates only, and they talking about, oh, the person was a junior person. What they got to do with them being junior, right? What that got to do with them being junior? I'm gonna cover that tomorrow. I'm gonna stick to finance tonight, but I got a whole slew of some other stuff tomorrow. Don't get me going. All right. So the other thing, yeah, yeah, Yanni. We got the whole Yanni situation. We got the whole Anton Daniels situation. We got Shapif situation. People going in on Shapif. People going in on. If y'all don't know about Shapif, go look on YouTube. I'm not gonna pull that stuff up. I just want you keep your eyes and ears abreast. And this other thing, listen, listen. And I agree with this right here. Stop talking about y'all shit on YouTube, y'all business, and then people go clip it and then they make reactions to it. If you don't want nobody to know, then don't talk about it on YouTube. I get it. You want to be candid, you want to be honest, you want to be open. Hold that shit for like a Patreon or something like that. Right? Hold that stuff for a Patreon. You got folks calling CPS, people former prostitutes and stuff, and they letting the air out about their former prostitution. Like what? I like people out here scamming folks and stuff. Like the scammers, prostitutes, pimps, and hoes is out here tonight. D, don't be brushing me along. D, don't brush me along. Look at D. See you saying? See D is guilty. We're having a conversation. We're having a conversation. Heather, I know you don't know nothing. Don't worry about it. Oh, it ain't even on Twitter. It's just all on YouTube. I know. I know, Natasha. I hardly be on Twitter too, at least. It'll be a lot of stuff going on Twitter too. But did y'all see on Twitter uh that they were talking about the people with the blue check marks? I think they done made so much money on the blue check mark. Let me see. Since people since they went to the subscript to you gotta prove. Let me see. Let me see how much. Let me see how much. There was some. It was something about they made so much money. Let me look up. I'm gonna go to past week. There was something about blue check. The blue check mark has made so much money in the past, ever since he went to it, and people are like, going in and verifying, saying that the blue. I don't even know what they do. What they do? Scan your face? I have no idea. Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah, Photoshop inserts. Listen. I'm trying to tell you, the streets out here is crazy. The streets out here is crazy. They crazy out here in these streets. It's crazy out here in these streets. Like I'm like, man, they out here doing crazy stuff. But I'll say this: out of all the craziness that's going on, people still hiring. People still hiring. There's still money to be made. It is what it is. All right. Let me get started before D fall out in the back, before she pass out. You know, she'll cut the stream on us. You know how she do. Those that be on the meetup, you know how D do. We be like, all right, y'all, see y'all later. Y'all have a good night. All right now, y'all be safe. D be like, snap. D be like the gas company. Come out there. Oh, let me turn that off. D is like the gas company. D be snatching electricity, gas, lights, turning off the water. Yeah, we cut. Yeah. You didn't pay your water bill. You don't get no water. You don't pay for water. You don't get no water. You remember the guy from what was that show? Oh, I know what it was. What's the name? Sugar Bear with Jada Pinkett. Set it off. Mid sentence, Heather. Mid sentence. You be mid sentence. Mid sentence. I be like, well, damn. I was about to say, well, you too, Heather. You be safe out there and good. I be like, good snatch. I be like, well, goddamn. Heather, you know exactly what I'm talking about. D take it there. These ain't lies. Heather be there. Don was there. Set it off. Yeah. And set it off when the only three things you need to be scared that I'm scared of is the I, the R, and the S. And like you don't do no work, you don't get paid. Great quotes from the movie. Great quotes. Sometimes you click the wrong button. She done. She be throwing us out. She be throwing us out. You be like, all right, y'all, I want y'all to be safe. Remember, you gotta snatch. You be like, wait a minute, I wasn't done, D. I wasn't done. Oh, you weren't done. I thought you already said bye. You already said bye. You'll be saying bye for the next 10 minutes. And then we'll be back on there and be on there for another 30 minutes. And then in her mind, I think she'd be thinking in her mind, she'd be like, I had to set it off. set it up. She be throwing us out. I'm glad somebody else recognized it other than I. All right. So I'm not gonna under deliver today. It is Foolish Finance Fridays. The club is closed. You know how they throw you out. The club is closed. Let me tell you what they do in Washington State when I was there. They were like last call for alcohol, and then 1 minute later, after you don't order your drink and you still may be drinking on it, they come by with a trash can and snatch the drinks out your hand and throw it away. You might have just paid $15 for your drink. They were like, I just got it. They were like, and they just did last call, and they snatch it out your hand and throw it away. You know how many bouncers and stuff and security had to walk around with the people because the people be like, I just bought my drink. They be snatching it out your hand. Snatch. That's what they do. Snatch them. All right, let's get busy. We got some petty tea stuff tonight. I try to lighten the load on everybody out here in these streets. That's what I'm doing. This is my contribution for the pettiness that's been going on all week. I'm delivering petty petty tea tonight. All right, so let's get started. So first topic of discussion, you all let me know what y'all think. I fired my accountant after he insisted I file my business taxes under my husband's social security number. Yee. Read it again. I fired my accountant after he insisted I filed my taxes under my husband's social security number. Right? Right. So let's make this a little bigger here. It looks big enough on the screen, but I'm gonna make it a little bigger there. 2 years ago, my accountant told me that the IRS had no record of my estimated tax payments. His firm policy for couples was to file taxes under the husband's social security number. As as my family breadwinner, it's important that I respected why it's important that I'm respected while filing my taxes. Okay? So let's get into it. 2 years ago, when it came time to file my taxes, my accountant called me with a problem. The IRS has no record of quarterly taxes I'd made during the year, he said. I was certain I paid thousands in estimated taxes, the quarterly payments that self-employed people are required to make. I'd been paying quarterly for years at this point, so I knew I was what I was doing. I even had receipts. I asked my accountant to find out where all the money might be. A few days later, he called me. He called to tell me he and the IRS had found the payments. They've been lost because I filed them under my social security number, but my accountant had filed our taxes with my husband listed as the primary taxpayer. So when you pay this year, just be sure to do it under his social, the accountant said as we ended the call. He was so casual about it, but I was gobsmacked. I, the one who had hired the accountant, he had never so much as spoken to my husband. I was also the sole income earner in our house. It was ludicrous to me that I would file taxes for my business using my husband's social security number. We had nothing at all to do with the income. So again, how long he been doing this? Because don't that take away from her social security contributions? Don't that take away from her Medicare? Don't that take a care away from her possible using that money for retirement as well too? Hmm? First off, I don't know how he got away with it. If my accountant did something, I'm looking at the paperwork that he filed, and I'm going over that paperwork as well before I even sign it. She had to sign off on it unless he's emailing the husband, and the husband signing off on it and be like, yeah, everything done. But she had to sign off on that. But so I don't know how she didn't know. And you have 3 years. Once you file, you have 3 years to update it. So she could literally go back and had it. Right? All right, let's go. At first, I tried to stay calm. Then I got angry. I explained that to my accountant. The previous year, he had saved me a lot on taxes, and I was happy with his services until that point. Well, how did he save you on taxes? Because I would want to know that. What did you do? Right? What did you do? I asked that he file our taxes with me as the primary taxpayer. That's what I always done until I hired him, because I'm the one filing the taxes and the one earning the money. But he insisted that the firm's policy was to list the husband as the primary payer. Why? Why is that your firm's policy? Right? That's when I got angry. There's no IRS policy about which spouse is listed first. In fact, it's best practices to stay consistent. So I argued he should have followed my long-standing practice of putting my name at the top. He should follow whatever I'm paying him to do. Over the course of a year, I noticed that a new letter from my accountant came to my email address, but it was addressed to my husband. It was irritating, but I let it slide. But I wasn't ready to let go of being the primary payer. I want to feel respected as a female business owner and breadwinner. I understand now if he's working in the business or he's not working in the business, but if it's her business and she out there making the money and so forth, I understand her point. I understand. To be clear, there's absolutely no benefit to putting one spouse as the primary earner versus the other. I could have simply filed my quarterlies under my husband's social security number, and it would have made no difference in our lives since we share all our money anyway. But I couldn't bring myself to do it on principle. I felt disrespected and angry. I couldn't help but think that the accountant would give me the side eye if I suggested he filed his business taxes under his wife's name. I considered the fact that I was being petty. So I checked in with a group of women, all of whom agreed that the accountant's patriarchal and outdated system, not to mention his unwillingness to do what the paying customer, was asking was wrong. More importantly, my husband agreed, and I was right to be outraged. I found another accountant who respects me as a business owner. Since my taxes were already prepped that year, I filed with my husband as a primary earner, but I immediately started looking for new accountants. I interviewed men and women and decided on a male accountant. When he asked why I was looking for a new accountant, I was completely honest and he understood. As a tax filer, I want to know what I'm working with. What I want to know that I'm working with someone who will respect me. I don't want to be afraid to ask silly questions. I look for a professional who understands me and my business. I don't think the first accountant was being malicious. See, yes, he was. Yes, he was. All right. I don't think the first account was being malicious or even aware of the effect of his policy. Yes, he did. He knew the effect. Yes, he did. But the microaggression undermined my trust in him. I'm proud of myself for standing up and finding the accountant that's right for my business. I want to pause right there and I want to go back and read this statement because I got more I want to say about this, right? He said, I don't think the first accountant was being malicious or even aware of the effect of his policy. He did. If he didn't know the effect of his policy, then he would have just put you on as the primary. But he knew what he was doing when he had the man up there. Stop it. See, this is the thing. Y'all go through life and y'all let people get away with stuff, right? Because you like, no, nah, he didn't mean it. That was, but he didn't mean that. You gotta have forgiveness in your heart. You gotta forgive him. He didn't mean that. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. See, now, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was a female, you think she would have forgave her? I bet you she wouldn't. I bet you she wouldn't, right? And a lot of you go through life and y'all be like, they don't mean no harm. They didn't mean to do that. They didn't mean that. Oh no. There's oh gosh, you just got such a mean spirit. You so mean. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Right? I'm proud for standing up. I'm proud of myself for standing up and finding an accountant that's right for my business. Right? Let me see. This was somebody out of New Hampshire that wrote this, but it don't say what that person was, D. But when I saw this, I was just like, oh no, she the face of it. Nah, he didn't mean it. Oh, whatever. Yes, he did. He did mean it. Talking about he didn't mean it. All right. All right. I got some smoke for the women and I got some smoke for the men tonight. Ladies, this is what it says out here in these streets. I'm just going by what they say, and I can understand it. It says as women live longer, they should plan for a second retirement. As women live longer, they should plan for a second retirement. Don't be washing up at the cemetery. Don't be washing up at the cemetery. That's how that's how I'm gonna have to do y'all. You washing up at the cemetery. I got smoke for the men too. I got smoke for the women right now. I got smoke for the men too. All right, let's get into it. I got something for y'all men. Got something for everybody tonight. All right, a couple typically plans for their retirement. What is frequently overlooked is the reality that on average, women live longer than men. Few retirement plans prepare surviving women for what is effectively her second retirement. And I should bring up the Oak Harvest review that I did a while back. Oak Harvest, they're based out of, I think they're based out of Dallas, and Money Guy's based out of Tennessee. But Oak Harvest talked about this. And one of the things they talked about is men come in to do the retirement planning, and they'll have 3 or 4 sessions, and they're in their mind and in their view as a rule for them, they won't continue to work with the man until he brings his wife in, because they say 70% of the time when the husband passes on and the wife comes in to meet them, they leave their firm because there hasn't been a rapport there and there hasn't been any type of trust there. So there's nothing been established, right? So again, I keep trying to tell y'all, I always liken it to um football. Tom Brady, he come in, they in the huddle, the offensive linemen, the receivers, the tight ends, the running back or fullback or whatever. They know the play. They get up to the line, he call an audible. Once he call that audible, everybody know where they need to be. It's the same thing here. You can't you can't keep you I don't even know how y'all call yourselves, married, domestic partners, relationship, whatever. and you don't know what the finances are. You gotta know. You gotta know. And we're gonna talk about some of that tonight. Ooh, I got some shit for y'all. I got some stuff for y'all. All right. So it says women live longer, right? It said a later stage that new complexities, different needs, um, and the cost just when I guess one minus 1% when financial resources and personal resilience may be sharply declining. The CDC forecasted life expectancy at birth for women in 2019 was 81.4 years compared to men who may look forward to 76.5, 76.3 years. Let's be honest, for men, I did for black men, I did this the other day on Brookings, black men, life expectancy, Brookings. It was Brookings.edu that I had looked at. Right here. This was 2021. Let me go back here. All right, because people don't believe it. Black men died 4 years earlier than white men, right? So they got black men dying 4 year life expectancy at birth and at age 65. Let's go scroll down here and we can look at it. Right here. It says, oh yeah, it's kind of blurry. Load it up there. Um, see, at birth 65, at age 65, 81.4. Let's go. All right. In their peace and challenges facing black men, blah 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 blah, that life expectancy is the lowest for black men compared to other groups at birth and at age 65. For white men, their life expectancy at birth is about 6 years lower than at the age of 65. But for black men, that gap is over 9 years, showing that black men are more likely to die prematurely. This and many other factors they cite is their piece for challenges facing black men, right? Facing black men. Let me scroll through here so they can get y'all these numbers. Families headed by black and Latino individuals without a high school diploma. We already know what that looks like. Oh, they don't have it. I gotta go pull the report, right? And this is no slight against you. This is just the truth of the matter. It's just where we at, right? This is just where we at. It says here, families headed by women, black, Latino, or Hispanic individuals, and individuals with a high school diploma, are more than likely struggling with female. So share other families with children that are struggling by household, right? More than likely, the women are struggling. More than likely, black and Latino are struggling. And then if you add on to that with um, no high school diploma, a high school diploma, some college, an associate, and you can see that in some of your friends. You can see that in some of your friends, right? You can see that in some of your friends. So let's get back to it. It says, however, by the age of 65, women are more likely to live nearly 21 years compared to the men who squeeze in a little bit more than an additional 18 years. Those averages assume that the woman and her mate are the same age. So that's another factor. A lot of women and a lot of men like to date in the gap of 10 to 20 years. She 20, he 42. She's got to prepare for not just a retirement, but a second retirement, maybe even a third retirement. if you want to be real about it. Because if he 40, he only gonna live about 20, 30 more years, right? By the time if she 21, 25, if he live another 20 years, she gonna be 45. She gonna still be working. And who's to say that he's gonna be accumulating enough wealth for her not to work the rest of her life, where she may live another 40 years? It's just the reality of it, right? So prepare for your second retirement, because most women are living 21 years afterwards. So again, when you think about it, you ask yourself, is $1 million enough for you to retire on at the age of 65? And he makes it, say, 72, 74, maybe, and you may live another 21 years. So that's gonna put you at 86. So you may live 10 to 15 years longer than him, right? It says those averages assume the woman and her mate are the same age, and it says according to the Pew Research, women are typically 2 years younger than their spouses, thus adding a few more years. The takeaway: women and their partnership plan on retirement and a half if their retirement is together, plus near one I guess 1% decade of her living without a spouse. Essie, a 77-year-old widow in Baltimore, lost her husband 5 plus decades. Lost her husband of 5 plus decades a few years ago. She laments that it's just different now. She quickly corrects herself. I did not plan on living without him and living alone. She goes on. I feel like a whole nother life I never imagined. Essie and many women like her are faced with with what might be the best characterized as second retirement. The life after work they planned and saved for as a couple in retirement, many women may have dreamed of, but the life stage that follows is an anticipated retirement that begins with a loved one when a loved one passes. A woman's second retirement is likely to begin when she is much older, past the years of checking off the travel bucket list, dreams of endless leisure, and other activities featured on today's brochure images of retirement living. Financial resources are likely to be greatly reduced. Connection with friends and community may have decreased because they may be dying off too, right? She may now be managing multiple health conditions. Many of the home tasks that were once shared, food, shopping, cooking, and cleaning, are now of one person. Despite the likelihood of these confounding complexities, few couples actively plan for her second retirement, right? A recent TIAA study assessed financial and longevity literacy and found that while women may be lagging men in financial literacy, they have a greater understanding for how long they might live. The study found that when men and women were asked about how long they might expect to live, women came out ahead, according to Surya Clory, head of the TIA Institute. It's been long reported that financial literacy among women tends to lag that of men. And that's why y'all got to get educated. That's why we have Finance Fridays. So you know what your options are, what you can do, what you can't do, where you should be, right? And when reframed the question, we found in a flip of the script, women are more likely to demonstrate strong longevity literacy. 43% of the women correctly answered longevity literacy question compared to 32% of men. A possible explanation of the difference could be that women have traditionally been more influential in healthcare decisions in the household, including those related to care of older family member, which helps their longevity literacy. Knowing you might live longer is not the same as preparing to live longer. How many of you are prepared for retirement now? How many of you drop a one if you're prepared for retirement? Drop a two if you're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm just out here still working. That don't mean you can't be preparing the foundation, right? Moreover, TIA study shows that well over half of the women and 2/3 of the men were unaware of the longevity realities of women living longer, right? You preparing, all right, nothing wrong with that, right? Couples must plan for two retirements. It is the second retirement that most women will face alone and is likely to be most costly and complicated. Costs include expenses accumulated from months of even years of caregiving, rising healthcare demands in advance, as well as supportive services that may be needed over time. Now you know they're having problems with Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, right? So I know a lot of vets depend on Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security as well too. So that may not be an option when you go to retire, right? Complications arise when there's what was once a lifetime of teamwork or at least modest sharing of household tasks to meet everyday needs suddenly becomes a job for one. Even if there are ample financial resources available, identify the range of possibility services that will be needed, along with who might be trusted organizations or people to provide everything from routine household tasks to home care becomes an entire different set of retirement challenges. Plus, getting back and forth to medical to the doctor. Plus, getting back and forth to the doctor, right? And then you may go to the doctor by yourself. How you know you can trust that person? You may be sitting there in their doctor's office and they may be looking at you like, check. That's a check, right? Couples must look past the vision of one shared retirement and plan for her second one and solo retirement. This requires candid conversations between couples, their adult children, focused discussions prompted by financial professionals to plan for her financial security, access to trusted home services, and care that she may need in her later years. Right? And then I guess this right here, National Vital Statistics. I don't think that's the same thing. I think that may be an ad. Yeah, right. And this is coming out of MIT Age Lab. So you got agelab .mit.edu. They would know. They would know, right? They would know. Why do I say that? Because we saw how much money, how much money they putting in the research, right? How much money they put in the home logistics service, retirement longevity planning, transportation, and livable communities, right? Livable communities, right? Let's see what kind of projects they got. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see what else they got on here. What resources they got. Support group leaders, conversations about disaster replanning. We need to talk. Conversations with older drivers, cataracts on their eyes. They still want to drive. All those things. These conversations y'all need to be having with your parents. And for some of you, even with yourselves. Like what are you gonna do? How are you gonna prepare? Right? All right. So that was for the men, that was for the women, right? That's for the women. Let me find my one for the men. All right, for the men, here we go. This is messy, but let's talk about it. My father retired with up to 10 million and bought my sister a rehab center. He said no to my request to pay for my kids' education. What can I do? I'm gonna read it again. Read it again. My father retired with up to 10 million and he bought my sister a rehab center. He said no to my request for my kids' education. What can I do? What can he do, people? What can he do? This is petty T. Is it fair that he don't want to pay for his kids' education? Is that okay? He retired with 10 million. Should he be paying for his kids' education? His grandkids? I'm assuming they're his grandkids. Or maybe he may be married to a woman and them ain't his kids. All right, so let's get into it. Two of our children have disabilities and would really benefit from help with education. All right. My husband and I have three wonderful college age kids and have always gotten by on our own despite major life struggles. We have saved 500,000 for retirement, but have only managed to pay off two but have only managed to pay off $200,000 of our home. 5 years ago, my wealthy father offered to help with our children's education, which was a pleasant surprise. He retired with approximately 8 million to 10 million, which includes his real estate and property portfolios. His home and his cars are paid outright. He asked if we would like help now or in 5 years when his land investment matured. He seemed to want to help later. So I said, okay, we love help in 5 years. I am 51 and have cataract limiting my ability to work. All right. Right. In the meantime, my parents bought my youngest sister, who's 30, a $900,000 house to run a drug rehab center. She does pay him $5,000 a month in rent for his investment. My sister and husband are former addicts who have cleaned up their lives and are doing much better for the most part. My dad is of sound mind, but it's shockingly unlike him to give anyone money, especially $900,000. He also quit claimed a home to her, which she sold for a large profit. My mom now has dementia. I am 51 and I have cataract, limiting my ability to work. Two of our children have disabilities and would really benefit from the help with education. Is she married? Ain't she married? I finally asked my dad about it the other day, but felt mountains of shame and guilt for asking. He responded that he no longer plans to give our children anything for education until he's gone. And this ain't a petty man. I word my younger sister and husband will literally inherit everything now and later. What can I do? What can she do? Drop in the comments what you think she can do. They in Missouri. Dear feeling, focus on what you can control and don't worry about fear. Future experiences appearing real. That is the focus on your health, your family, and your finances. They're all connected. What your father does with his fortune is beyond your control. And from what you say, it seems unlikely that your father will leave his entire fortune to one child. Your cataract your cataracts are your number one priority. Medicaid covers cataract surgery, but lenses to correct, I guess, astigmatisms can cost 1,500 per eye and up to 3,000 per eye for more complicated problems. Addressing this with or without your father's help will help you gain financial independence and re-enter the workforce. You can't rely on your father's inheritance. For those who are on Medicare, original Medicare covers 80% of approved cost of cataract surgery under a physician's care, again, using traditional surgical techniques or with lasers. According to Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, the patient is responsible for paying for the other 20%, and there is a Medicare deductible, $226 for Part B, has been met. Your father, for his part, could set up a trust for the children he believes may be more likely to spend the money recklessly, especially if they have a history of substance misuse. This could reduce the temptation to spend their fortune or the use money for the bad investments. Now I want to say this. The daddy is probably looking like your husband was a user. Now that's my daughter. She was a user. But your husband was a user and I ain't feeling it, right? Such a trust could provide an income for her daughter, perhaps if she met certain conditions of sobriety. The beauty of the grandparent grandchild relationship is that it can exist independently of the relationship with the parents. If all parties agree to put the children first, a 529 plan is a smart way to save, invest, and pay for a child's college expenses in a tax advantageous way. My colleague Alice, I guess Alexander Malitos points out, grandparents are ideal candidates for set up tax advantage 529 plans for grandchildren. When grandma and grandpa set up a 529, the state, which is a state sponsored college tuition account, the assets don't count against the child when they're filling out their financial aid applications, right? Live your best life. Show your kids and yes, your father that you can live with or without his money. Your sister life is her own. As frustrating as it might be, as frustrating as it might be that he has invested in her rehab, it's not clear whether he gave her this building slash business or whether he invested in her business, giving given that she is paying rent. To put $5,000 to put her $5,000 monthly rent in context, $900,000 loan over 30 years is 5.44% interest, will result in a monthly payment of $5,712. It might be that your sister is not is it might be that your sister is or has not been handed nearly a million outright. Other way, she put it to good use is being a service to people who have had similar experience. In addition, it takes a lot to ask for help, but it takes a lot more to wait for the answer, and the answer was no. Get an answer that you did not want. Processing his refusal, however unfair it may seem, has produced those feelings of shame and guilt. It's the toxic waste of having our pride and ego abused. But feelings are only as real as you allow them to be. Process them and let it go. That's what he said. Process it and let it go. All right. Let me see some. I could do this one, but I rather do the video. I rather do the video. All right. Did you all right over there? This this is my guy. I know we ain't gonna be able to finish it tonight. We probably have to finish it tomorrow. D is rushing me. You know she'll cut the live, y'all. You know D will cut the live. Big news. All right, here we go. All right, here we go, y'all. All right. He won't marry me until I pay off my $15,000 credit card debt. Now, I have another one here. Hold on. Let me grab it. I have another one here. Let me show you this one. I'm going to show you this one. My girlfriend admitted to having some student loan. Oh, yeah, I tell you right here. I got it over here on my Chrome. Hold on. Let me just bring it up. I gotta get out of this big screen. Hold on. Let me get out of here. Here it is, right here. My girlfriend admitted to having some student loan debt. I just found out she owes $83,000. Should we still plan to buy a house together? Should we still plan to buy a house together? All right, I'm gonna say that one. I'm gonna say that one. I may talk about it tomorrow. I don't know. Well, here we go. Let's go. D said y'all can't hear. Hold on. Let me switch to over here. Let's go live on this.
A Netflix show coming out.
What
I
about
would
now?
love for you to watch it. It's called How to Get Rich, and you can go onto your Netflix account right now, search for my name, and then click Add to List. That way you'll get notified the minute it goes live in April. Why don't you guys get married tomorrow?
I don't think that would be wise for my finances. I'm sorry, that's like not a great sentence to say. Like, that feels like a dirty sentence.
I just don't really quite understand.
So here's the question. Right? He said, why don't y'all get married now? He's like, I don't think it'd be wise for my finances. She owes 15,000. The other one we just read, she 83,000. He said he don't think it would be wise for their finances. Here's where Tamika logic comes in at. Why y'all didn't have this conversation a long time ago? See what I'm saying? See, people get mad with me talking about you don't need to be talking about finances and stuff on the first few dates. And you need to be getting a chance to know each other. Your $15,000 or your $80,000 or your $90,000 in credit card debt and whatever debt would let me know. Oh, you can love past the debt. You can love past the debt. He's like, she need to pay off her $15,000 before we even move forward. That's her debt. Let's get back to it.
You get from being like putting things on credit and living paycheck to paycheck. Do you have to shut down your life for a year?
What if you did?
There are things I would have to say no to for like years, like maybe 2 or 3 years of saying no to things.
And do you want to do that?
If it's the only way Adam's going to marry me, then yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there because I got a problem with her voice. I got this put on hold for stuff for 2 or 3 years, and Adam's not gonna marry me. And then I'm looking at her background, looking like Hello Kitty ish. Nothing wrong, but I'm just saying. I'm just trying to figure out where these conversations will didn't come up prior to this. That's all I'm asking. Fellas, what are y'all asking ladies on these dates? What are the questions are y'all asking? I know what get asked. I just want to know what y'all asking. From your standpoint, are y'all asking, does she have debt? Are you asking, does she know how to cook and clean? Does she know how to balance a checkbook? Has she ever seen a checkbook? Does she know what a ledger is? What questions are you asking? Are you just be like, she's so cute? She cute and cuddly? I just want to know what you're asking. I will get back to it, but I just be wanting to know. Ladies, what questions are y'all getting asked? Right? What question are you getting asked? Let me go.
It's like you have a bucket that has a hole in it, and it keeps going down. You keep refilling it, but it keeps going down. And you start feeling hopeless. But you try, and you keep going like this for a year, 2 years, 5 years. Paint the picture for me.
And then you never have anything to show for it. Because I have a scarcity complex. I always think, what if I put too much on a credit card and then I don't have enough for something else?
Like what?
What if something happens?
You're paying thousands in interest and your boyfriend won't marry you. It's happening right now. Meet Adam and DJ. Adam has told DJ that if you want to get married, you need to pay off your credit card debt. Now, it's possible for her to pay this off even quickly, especially since her income just doubled, but she struggles in paying it off. By the way, she's 33, he's 37. They live together in rural New York. I want you to pay attention in today's episode to DJ's explanations as I probe into why she hasn't paid down her debt yet. At times, she's going to act oblivious, as if she doesn't know how to manage money. But at other times, she knows the exact tactics to use.
Now, this is funny. Now, you notice how opposite they are of the last couple we looked at, the one with the black lady and the white guy. She was like, I want to be, get my independence. I paid off, they paid off together some debt, but they're still separate or whatnot. But she making 137. He was making 151 or 155. She's doing her thing. She's doing her stuff, watching her budget, this, that, and other. They live together. He didn't ask no questions before they moved in. He didn't say, let's get this underway. Let's start tackling this. Or let's put you on a plan. Charge her rent, but instead of paying her, he let her charge her rent, or have her give her half for rent and then just pay on her credit card, or put it away to pay on her credit card. I be having questions. I don't know what y'all be doing out here.
Directly from my book. So what's really going on here? Why hasn't she paid off her debt? Let's find out. I also want to invite you to check out the video version of this episode on YouTube. I've been hearing that a lot of you love seeing the numbers breakdown of the conscious spending plan, which we put on screen for all of our YouTube episodes. So go over to YouTube, subscribe, search for my name, and you will be able to watch this full episode there. All right, let's get into it. I'm Ramit Sethi, and this is I Will Teach You to Be Rich.
There's not really big disagreements anymore. It's more, I know what you're going to do, so I just let you do it. And it's not, I don't want to fight over it, because generally speaking, it's your money. So you can spend it however you want to. You spent a lot for Christmas. We wildly overspent for our New Year's party, like by the thousands. Like, we shouldn't have done that, but it's okay. But when you overspend, I just shut up, because you're choosing how to spend your disposable income.
Yeah, I don't know that we necessarily fight or have disagreements about money. It is just that
The setup for a failed marriage. The setup.
do what I do and he does what he does.
What is your relationship? Are you married?
Adam has told me that we can't get married unless we have the money to do it. And part of that has to do with my credit card debt.
How long has this been how long have you had the debt?
Probably my whole life. I would want a new outfit every weekend to go out. So I would go to the mall and buy a new outfit.
Whose credit card was this, by the way? Was it yours? You got one when you went to college?
Yep.
Where'd you go to college? What area?
New York.
Oh, so what'd you get, a Chase card?
No, I had like cards at stores.
Like
Express.
Express.
I had
Hold on. I already know.
Express.
BB,
I didn't
Old
have
Navy.
one of those. No,
What
I
else?
didn't have one of those. I had Express and Macy's.
Ugh.
And Express got really bad, crazy bad.
Look, Natasha, Adam doesn't care how she spend her money because they're not married. And he's like, that's your debt, your credit, and your credit score. But when they get married and they start getting joint accounts and joints this and joint that, Adam is gonna flip out. That white banister is that they got up right now ain't gonna be there because Adam gonna break it. Adam gonna break it. I'm just letting you know.
I
That
paid it
means
off
what?
eventually. I think it was at like probably $4,000 at the time. I graduated college and I became an elementary school teacher in a really high cost of living area. And I lived off credit cards. I decided to get a new job, a better paying job. And I've had a better paying job for about 2 years now. And as I work to pay it off, it just seemed like it comes back.
It seemed like, or it seems like?
It seems like every time I get ahead, something happens and I just get behind again. It's been going up and down since I got a new job that pays me more money. I thought I'd be able to pay it off by now, and I just continue to like tread water. It goes down a little, it goes back up. It goes down a little, it goes back up.
Let me tell you how it go down a little bit. You pay on it, and then let me tell you how you go back up on it. You charge on it. It go down and then it go back up. I don't understand the concept. I don't know. Gee, what do you think happens, D?
Okay. What do you think the problem is?
It's a choice whether I pay it off or not.
Why do you think you haven't done it already? It's been a long time.
I think part of it was that I couldn't before. I was making a lot less money and I couldn't. I wasn't making enough for rent and groceries. So it was hard, but I still, again, made the choice to live beyond my means. And that's something I've just kind of always done. So now that I have a better job and I live in a more low cost of living area, there's no excuse for me not to be doing it, but I just can't seem to find a reason why. If I keep accruing debt, whether it's taking vacations and putting this on a credit card or giving gifts and putting something else on a credit card or just putting things on credit cards in general, no matter how much money I make, I don't know that I'll ever be able to get myself out of the hole.
Okay. What do you know? You've told me a lot about what you don't know. Tell me what you do know.
I do know that I make more money than I used to.
Tell me the difference. What's the numbers?
I made $45,000 as a teacher, and now I make $90,000 as an account executive. So I was able to double my salary by taking a calculated risk, spending a year working 2 jobs to get my foot in the door, and then getting a promotion to get a new job.
Wow. Congrats. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's really cool. All right.
Thank
well
you.
done. 90K.
I used
great salary.
I used your graph that said you can go down.
Yep.
And as long as it's a risk, you end up on the other side. So I
Very
did
good.
that.
Well, hold on. For everyone listening, that's not exactly what the graph said. Don't think that if you just go down, you come back up. Sometimes you go down and stay there. Everyone who's in crypto knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, we'll get to that. Sometimes I worry about people taking away the wrong things from some of these episodes. You know how we all have a friend who goes through something bad and they take away completely the wrong lesson? Like they spend
Oh, that's Dee's favorite thing. That's Dee's favorite thing. Now tell me what I just said to you. Repeat back what I just said to you. That's Dee's favorite thing. I say something to you. Now repeat back what you heard I said. That's Dee's favorite thing. That's Dee's favorite thing.
$1,000 on a vacation. They spend months getting friends together, planning out a trip, booking hotels. But when they get to the airport, they realize they don't have a visa to go to the other country. They lose all their vacation money. Their friends are stranded. And then you ask them, hey, what happened? And they tell you this very long story. And at the very end, they go, so the lesson is never fly United. You're just like, what the hell? I think DJ used my dream job program, or at least the chart from it, where I show you the curve of doing more before doing less. Meaning sometimes you have to work hard and put systems into place before you see the results. In her case, she doubled her salary, which is an outstanding result. And doubling that salary gives her a lot of power to be able to make financial changes. On my last trip to India, I wanted to buy this special thing for my dad. So I was in New Delhi. I went with my Babbel.
Let's get past that ad.
when you discovered that you had doubled it?
I didn't even realize it until I was filling out the compound spending plan that I doubled my salary. It feels amazing.
Yeah.
But it's also really scary because, okay, I've doubled my salary. Is that even enough to support the kind of lifestyle that I want?
All right. So we're gonna finish this up. I don't know. I guess I can finish after hours. But what I wanted to say there was this. This is why I talk about on Saturdays and even on any other time is you all are gonna make money and you're gonna triple, double, triple your salary, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, a million or whatever. And you're gonna get into a situation where you haven't laid the foundation down so that your money just automatically goes into the different pots that it need to go into. And you're gonna sit there and you're gonna look and you're gonna get that tax bill. You're gonna get a bill for not just your tax bill, just bills in general. And then you're gonna get money, and your money is not gonna be working for you. It's gonna be sitting in a savings account, getting 1%, a 0.01%. You're not gonna have it in a money market account. You're not gonna have any stocks. You're not gonna max out your 401k. You're not gonna do the basics. All right. I try to tell you what to do as the basics. Because everybody else don't tell you that, right? They don't tell you what to do after you get that level of success or what have you. Or whatever you deem as success. Right? So I wanted to bring you this tonight. I'm gonna finish this up. I may finish this up tomorrow night in our after hour session. I may do it tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on if D don't pull the plug on me. Don't do it, D. Don't pull the plug on me. Don't do it, D. Be nice. Don't do it, D. Don't put your hand down, D. Don't do it. I see you. All right. And I have some more stuff for you all, but I do want to say this. I want to give special thanks to Afri and a Queen Lee. I have their blog reviews right here. We met last week and we're gonna do blog reviews. I didn't finish it off tonight because I want to show you this. We got a whole ranking system here for our blog review. Where we got our title, and let me make that a little bigger. Right here, we got our title, the score, was it updated, relevant topics, gender, age, and income levels. So all the blogs and anything I find that are interesting, we're putting a ranking system on here. We have from best, excellent, good, fair, and worst. We'll be bringing this to you weekly. We have 9 blogs that we have reviewed. Afri did 3, Queen Lee did 3, I did 3, and we have reviews for those. And so we're gonna actually sit down and come up with what ranked the best out of our reviews here. And then we're gonna come back to you all, and we're gonna all have a discussion, and an open forum discussion about why we chose what we chose, what was the best out of those things that we chose, and on top of that, the why. And then let you all get in on reviewing material and stuff, because I want you all to be able to review material as well too, and understand what they're saying and how they're talking, and we'll walk through the process of reviewing it. Right? Sounds good to everybody? D, sound good to you? Let us know. Leave a 1 in the chat, and also don't forget to leave comments under the video if you like what you heard tonight. Again, ladies and gents, we talked about second retirement and also having debt and getting rid of debt before marriage. So that's why I tell you, men and women, right? Make as much money as you can so you can pay off your own debt, right? I don't know if you're anything like me, but I never want to walk into a situation where I'm the one that has the debt, or we can't move because of my debt or what have you. I want to make that clear, right? I want us to be able to be free. And this just make your credit score look better. It gives you opportunities. All right, I'm gonna see y'all in the morning. I hope this has been good for you all. Hope you had fun. You know, I got my Petty T glasses on. You're gonna see me out here in these streets. I'll see y'all later. I'll see you in the morning.